What is up? What is up?
It's crack-a-lackin'.
Hey. Mel Roth from Streetcar Supernationals in the house tonight. What's up, dude?
How we doing?
Oh, we're good. We're good.
Awesome.
It is always good to see you. Of course, I will be seeing you. It seems like tomorrow, but it's what, a month away? Less than a month.
3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Yep.
Till the 2025 edition of Streetcar Supernationals. I'm excited. Ryan, you've never been to Streetcars, have you?
I have not.
Dude,
I know.
it is epic. It is epic. It is one of the epic West Coast events that just is a different thing. And it's been better than ever the last few years. And I know I love it. And I am glad to be a part of it. It is a great deal. So, Mel, before we get into 2025 edition, Mel and I always like telling this story, Ryan. You'll love this.
Let's do it.
So the way that I met Mel, the very first time, see, watch him laughing. It's awesome. So
it's great.
So I called him because he was the guy that owned Streetcar Supernationals, and I called him and I said, "Hey, dude, my name's Chad Reynolds. You know, one of the owners at Bang Shift. We've started doing this live streaming of races thing, and I don't need anything from you, except, you know, credentials to get in and your permission that we can do this." And at the time, we'd been doing the California Hot Rod Reunion and the March Meet for like, I don't know, maybe 2 years or something like that. And Mel's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, okay, fine." And then I get there. And it is not uncommon for Mel to put my name on the list at the gate. And now I know this, and it's funny, and it doesn't really matter because everybody at Vegas knows me. But at the time, when my name was not on the list, and the lady at the gate called him, what'd you say to her there, Mel?
Who?
That's exactly right. Who? At which point he comes to the gate and he's like, "Who are you?" I said, "Chad Reynolds. I called you about live streaming." He's like, okay. He had no recollection of this phone call even happening at all.
I mean, be honest with you. I mean, obviously, when you have an event of this size, you get a lot of people calling you. Well, at that time, I didn't know what Bang Shift was. Right. I just didn't. I mean, this was now what, 15 years ago, Chad? It was at least 15 years ago, probably longer. And I just didn't know who Chad was. So, but we did get him in, and I know he had a great time, and he's still with us. So it must not be that bad of a first impression.
No, it was awesome. Like, it started this whole big run that was awesome, and it was great. We have had so much fun, and yes, we're back. And if you are out there watching and you're going, okay, so are you going to be live at Streetcars in 2025? Yes, that is the answer. In fact, just got Neil's plane tickets the other day. So yeah, we are all set and we will be there. We have some great folks helping us out with some sponsorships and what have you to, you know, make sure it's always free like always. And so we love that. So it's great. In fact, one of those dudes, John DeJong on right now, says, "Scary seeing you two dudes on one screen." Come on, man. We're lovely.
But wait a minute. There's 3 dudes on one screen. Yeah. Come on, John.
Yeah.
John.
Yeah. Well, maybe John's just saying that Ryan looks perfectly fine.
Probably.
And it's us that are the ugly ones, I guess. Yeah.
Right. Tell John I'm wearing a hoodie that I love here. The Bunker Junker 57 Chevy. Oh yeah.
Yep.
So
the Doug DeLay is asking, am I announcing this year? And yes, I am. That is a go. So it's gonna be fun. So I'll be there announcing and helping Neil do setup and all that. He's gonna be running the live stream, and we'll bring you all the action Thursday through Sunday. So it's gonna be awesome.
Oh, it's good. It's going to be epic. If we just get any kind of decent weather, I mean, this race is going to be just amazing this year. We have a bunch of announcements, and I'm glad we can announce it all. With you, Chad, and because
Yeah.
you've been there, the longest. So this is the 21st year of this continuous of this race. So it's
Right.
basically, I'm pretty sure it's the longest one continuous of this type of race in the world. I know that Orlando was longer, but they missed a couple years when I believe Ozzy first took over. I think they didn't do a year or two of the Orlando Street World Nationals.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's like 21 years. I mean, that's a long time. I'm old. So
Oh, heck yeah. Well, tell us what's in store for this year.
well, first of all, I'd like to introduce. We have a brand new title sponsor. They've been with us for over 10 years, but Lewis and Nathalia from Fuel Tech. So now it is a Fuel Tech Streetcar Super National. So we're
Nice.
really proud to announce that. So
Awesome.
Oh,
so
heck
yeah,
yeah,
then
that's awesome.
right, and Fuel Tech, as you guys know, I mean, they support drag racing and other forms of racing like no other, and we really appreciate them stepping up and coming on board. And I mean, it's a pretty cool deal. We have a couple other things here. This is our license plate. Even though this is a decal, we give everybody a decal and a full size license plate for their car for streetcar. So this was this year's rendition of the license plate. So and then probably the big news. I mean, that's been going since we announced it. The addition of Little Gangsters to the Streetcar Super Nationals. Um, we went ahead and contacted Jimmy Dale and Michael Polland. I believe it's Polland, correct?
Poland, yeah.
Poland.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, Polland. Okay, and then yeah, we got on board, and I believe they're now trying to make this race. I know at first it was too late in their schedule to try to make Vegas, but I believe they're going to try to make it, and it's probably going to be a pretty good deal. It's going to
I
be
heard a
huge.
rumor that was in the works as well.
Right. So, and it would be cool to get them out here in Vegas. Like I said, this class is going to be huge. I had racers for months asking me if I was going to add it. Chad knows what we have on our plate. I mean, we have 500 plus entries. We
Yeah.
and it's hard to get the race done. But ever since, and Chad will tell you as well, ever since we required diapers on all the heads up cars, all the fast cars, it has
Yep.
been way better. And then with Jeff Foster and his crew bringing in Kurt Johnson, I think it's been 6 years now, bringing in Kurt
Yeah.
Johnson and his team. And if you want, Chad, tell them how we do the multiple lanes here.
Oh yeah, you guys, this is the best thing about this event, honestly, is the fact that this facility is so top notch, right? Like, I consider Vegas sort of one of my home tracks because when I lived in Southern California, it's the one I go to the most of any track during the year, normally, and it's epic. I mean, it's a huge facility next to the NASCAR track, all those things, right? Um, and just like Charlotte, which is owned by the same company, it is a 4 wide drag strip. And people have asked for years, like, why don't they do, big bracket races with 4 lanes wide? And why don't they do this? And why don't they do that at Charlotte, which doesn't run very many events? So when Vegas, that runs a ton of events every year, became 4 lanes a few years ago, the same question sort of came up, like, oh, can you run all 4? Can you do this? Can you do that? Well, the reality is that the pairs, you can run one pair or the other pair unless you have the national event timing system running, right? But in normal events like Streetcar Super Nationals, you run a 2 lane computer system and that's it. But the beauty of Streetcar Super Nationals is that we are able to use all 4 lanes. We use them 2 at a time, but it allows us to have, the right 2 lanes are radial prep, okay, and the left 2 lanes are slick prep. And I am telling you, it is the greatest thing ever because not only are we taking advantage of, like, how cool is this that we have 4 lanes. Not only are we making sure that the radial tire guys get the racetrack they want, and the slick tire guys get the racetrack they want, But more importantly, there is no downtime. Like the amount of downtime between radial and slick tire classes, I mean, in some cases, it's the same amount of time as it would take to run a pair or two, right? They send the last pair, and then everybody from the starting line walks over to the other starting line. We notify the safety crew at the top end so they can change their location based on which pair of lanes is going, and that's it. It is, they flip the switch in the tower to change it over to those two lanes, and there we go. And so then while everybody's running on the radial prep, they'll go over and do a quick drag and a little bit of prep on the slick tire lanes and be ready to rock and roll and go right back. And then again, they go right back to the radial lanes and also prep those while we are running on the slick tire lanes. And one of the things that's interesting about that is it allows us to go slick tires, radials, slick tires, radials. Like we may run a few slick tire classes and then, one or two radial classes and then a few more slick tire. And then, so the racetrack is always fresh. It's always good. It's really, really cool. And everybody loves it. Like it is, that has been a game changer for sure, running all four lanes. And of course, Kurt and those guys are amazing. So him and Thomas and Weston and all the crew, they're just great guys, and they do a great job. And I have to say, you mentioned that the big change was the diapers, and that was such a huge thing. This event had gotten, and I'm not telling you anything, Mel, I haven't said to you before, but it got out of hand with delays because of all these oil downs and stuff. But, the guys, Jeff Foster and the crew at Las Vegas said, okay, we want to make some changes to the schedule as well. And do this on Thursday and blah, blah, blah. And you guys work together really, diligently to come up with some schedule changes, some equipment changes, like you said, with regards to the diapers. And then, man, we do not dilly dally this. On a couple of occasions, Mel has said, Chad, slow it down a little. But I've told everybody before, like, dude, we owe you years worth of dinners you didn't get to have, like in Vegas. And last year we had a couple of guys that were double-entered in classes that literally were one and then the other. And I'm already calling them to the lanes. Literally, they're going down the racetrack. Like this one dude was
Johnny Coleman. He he won small tire no time, and he won like Pro 275. He won two classes, which is insane with that many cars that we have for him to go that many rounds, and then the finals going basically back to back with I can't tell you how fast this car is because I don't know, but I'm gonna say a low 4-second car,
Let me put it this way: it's a Leaf Spring '69 Camaro with a Pro Charger and a big block, and it has been the quickest and fastest Leaf Spring car in the world on a couple of occasions. So that'll
but going basically back to back without any. Basically he did not go back to his pits. He went right back to the staging lanes. So
absolutely, and there were a couple of guys that were in my God, I don't remember. It was one of the index classes, like triple index or something. And they also were back to back, like earlier rounds.
Right.
And I called them back to the lanes, and I immediately went down to the lanes. Like I walked down there because I knew these guys are going to come back and they're going to be yelling at Ron because I'm already calling them. And one of the dudes, he was hot, right? He comes pulling in and he's like, I don't understand why you're calling us. I got to do this and blah, blah, blah. I said, dude, calm down. It's fine. We're going to give you all the time you want. Well, you just called me up. You're not giving me all the time I need. I said, yeah, I am. I said, here's the deal. I said, I just need you to be here where I can look at you. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, if you're out there in the pits, I have no idea where you're at. I don't know if you're 10 seconds from here or 10 minutes from here or 20 minutes from here when I call you. And at some point I'm going to get tired of waiting on you, and then we're going to run without you. But if I know you're right here, then I'm not worried about it. And then here his wife comes up with the golf cart, and it's got a fuel jug on it and the generator, right? And I go over and I lift the generator off and, set it next to his car, and he is looking at me, and I go, what do you need to do to get ready? And he goes, well, I got to cool this thing down. I got to pull the hood off and this and that. I said, would you like some help? And he's like, what? I said, if you'd like some help, I'll gladly help you lift the hood off this thing. And the guy was like blown away, right? But when he finally understood, like, dude, I promise you, because I told him, you tell Ron when you're ready. And as soon as your other dudes that were also running with you are ready, then we'll run you. But until then, we won't. Like, you're good. Well, literally, it was 1 minute later, like the car's already down, cool enough. Like he's already putting fuel in it. I mean, it wasn't,
Right.
He was worried, but he didn't need to be worried. And he really was ready quicker than he thought he would have been anyway. And it was great. But, that's the thing we tell everybody, like, dude, you just need to come when I call you. And if you can't, then I need to know why. Because if there is some good reason and we go, oh man, this is just your first call. You still got 20 minutes or whatever. We can tell you, like, work with us. We're not trying to make anybody mad, but like I said, there are a lot of people that have not gotten to go out to dinner in Vegas for a very long time. And we want to make sure they get to do that. I know I have talked to at least a dozen people in the last few weeks that are coming this year who haven't been back in like 5 years.
Right.
So I am
that was it was Streetcar 17 that was the one. It was our biggest one, and that was the one that had everything that weird could have happened from a haboob. If you guys know, Chad knows what a haboob is. We would have got. It would have been a complete different race if Saturday night, because we were going to get back on schedule Saturday night, and then this haboob came out of nowhere and put so much dirt on the track that we could not continue on Saturday night, and that just made Sunday terrible. And it's taken years to recover from that, and but one of the things we did was, like I said, they implemented the diapers so every heads up car, and this you can ask Scott Bieschke, our tech director. There was guy after guy coming up in the tower to talk to me. Hey man, I got a Dodge 4-wheel drive. I can't put a diaper on it. I looked at him. I said, yes, you can. I had a guy with a Cadillac. Same thing. I said, yes, you can. No, I can't. I'll just go give my money back. I said, no problem. I go, we're just not going to let you run without a diaper. And we're serious. We don't want people to travel there and not be able to run, but we are not going to, especially that Dodge truck ran nines.
Yes.
Things can happen in a 9-second Dodge diesel truck.
It says Dodge on it.
Well, I'm not bagging on the Dodge part of it, but
I'm bagging on the Dodge. It says Dodge on it, dude. It needs at least a blanket. Maybe
it also needs a fire extinguisher as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, so he went over to Fig Speed, one of our sponsors in the Midway that has all that stuff. And sure enough, like 2 hours later, him and this Cadillac guy, and they both happened to be from Utah, which was just kind of weird. They both went and they put it on, went back. I told them, all right, go back through tech. They did, and they ran for the weekend. So it's and not that we obviously there's always going to be. There's always going to be downtime, whether, a guy, wheelies and comes down. There's no way to not do that. But if we can just take some of that out, which we have, man, it's been so much nicer, and I get yelled at so much less.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Well, and I have to tell you, like, it makes it more fun, obviously for the racers and stuff, but it's more fun for the fans. It's more fun for me announcing and Nate and the intern, Gage, everybody. We all have more fun because you're not just trying to kill time while a tractor is going up and down the racetrack. And the other thing is that it just makes everybody's stress level so much lower,
Yes.
And when we do have,
especially Jeff's,
yes,
so that's good.
Exactly.
That's good.
and the one of the great things, obviously, about having Kurt and them, the TVC crew there, is that between them and Foster, like, I mean, seriously, there's nobody better in the business at prep and cleanup and all those things. And Kurt and Jeff Foster have been, super close friends for, 25 years or longer. And, so they just work together so well. And that part, also comes through. It makes it really neat. And also, I think that having TVC in the house, also makes it so that, some of these guys that are East Coast radio guys, I think it draws them in a little bit more because they're used to, you know, Kurt's prep, right? So they're
Right.
used to TVC prep, and they trust it, and all those things. And they may not know how good Foster is because they're not from, you know, the West Coast, right? So when
Correct.
you have Kurt's name on it, I think that's a big deal, you know, for
Yep.
sure. So
I agree. So, but yeah, but like I said, it's just it makes it a lot easier and a lot better for me to, you know, talk to people when they're coming to the race by, you know, because like I said, that streetcar 17, that was I had thoughts of, you know, not even doing it anymore after 17, because I mean I got, you know, obviously technically not my fault, but it is my fault
right,
because it's my race. But
right.
the
You're
the
gonna be the
the
bad guy
neg
no matter what.
the negativity, the phone calls and all that, it was enough to drive anybody over the edge. But it's just like I mean, I'm telling you, it was rough.
Oh, I
You know,
believe it.
I mean,
I believe it.
I mean, we you know we canceled or we stopped the race at like 2 o'clock on Sunday morning.
Yep.
Um, and then we paid everybody. Everybody that was left got paid. So it's not like
Yeah.
we skipped town and didn't pay anybody. But
Right.
it
Right.
was just like there was just some people that just couldn't take that we stopped that race.
Yeah.
And but it was there's not more. How much more can you do? We ran until 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. I mean, we
Right.
did everything we could have done, and the track had something going on Monday, so we couldn't do it. You know,
Right.
crew and all that. You just so it's like
Well,
it is
I
what
think
it
that's
is.
I think that's one thing people forget sometimes too is that um so I'll use an event that, you know, me and Ryan are both announcing this year, actually, the Texas Radio Roundup. That event, for a couple of reasons, the last couple of years, has literally run until 6 a.m. Okay. Um, and 2 days in a row. And, you know, and then it's starting up in the early afternoon again, you know, each day. Um, you know, we had at the Texas Motorplex, we had a bracket race earlier this year that was the same way, that just went because of rain and everything else. It meant, you know, went a million hours. Um, and, you know, racers sometimes they're like, oh, you know, come on, let's just finish this up or whatever. And you're like, you know, you got to go take a nap in your trailer. Like,
Yeah,
or even if all you did was sit around and bullshit, you weren't working the whole time. But the guys on the starting line and on the
Yeah.
tractor and the dudes in the ambulance and all of those things, like, those guys aren't just there to flip the switch and spray water in the box. In fact, that's the easy part of their job. They're there to make sure everybody's safe and that everything works and that the competition is right. And when you know, those guys can't be doing that after being awake for 24 hours. I mean, it's
right.
just not, you
Yeah,
know, it's not the same. Jet Black says, you know, XRP Sunrise, which is, you know, that's a Texas thing, dude. XRP is world famous for not starting until real late and going until real early. So
Well,
According to Galen, though, last time I was out there,
yeah,
they're trying to reverse patterns on that. He's gonna start telling people you got to cut them off at 1:32 o'clock max.
yeah. I
So,
actually heard that recently as well, and I'm glad he's doing that. And the
yeah.
reason I mean, at certain kinds of events, sure, it's fun to be racing at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, but not for bracket races, not when there's junior dragsters, not when they're, you know, I
right,
mean,
You should
that
only be
stuff, like,
exhausted. You
get
should only
started
be
in the morning, dude. Like,
yeah.
right.
that's what it's supposed to be, you know?
Well, we had one streetcar super nationals at Texas Motorplex, and we finished that as the sun was coming up. Alex Laughlin actually raced in big tire, and the sun was actually, you know, coming in his eyes because, you know, the track
Yeah.
wasn't meant to be running at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know,
No, it was
so
not. Yeah.
yeah, so that was a long race. It didn't feel like we were up all night, but man, that was 6 a.m. We were doing final round in winter circle, so it was pretty crazy.
Wow.
So
What year was that?
it's like 5 years ago now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you remember, Bodie and I did that race. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
right. Now I
yep,
remember. That's
yep.
right. Yes.
So
Speaking of, so um any other big notable names that are going to be there this time,
I
or
mean,
what are we?
there is. I mean, I just there's some guys that don't want to, don't want to announce they're coming
I
because
know. That's
I
why
mean,
I ask.
I
There are
mean, I just
always
have.
those guys. I
I
know.
know there are those guys. We just have so much more to to talk about. I'm going to try to just whiz through a lot of this stuff real quick.
Okay,
The
jam.
the Outlaw 85 tribute race to Krusty Ramsey. Okay, Corey Meklovich and Jeff Boyd out in Colorado. They put together. Um, I mean, they went out and we all got sponsors for this deal.
Yeah,
20,000 to win Outlaw 85 race. That's
which is
20,000 to
so
win,
awesome.
which is amazing. But probably the better part. I mean, if anyone out there doesn't know Krusty Ramsey, he passed away earlier this year. He was
Yep.
an Outlaw 85 guy to the core,
Oh,
and
hardcore.
he was. I mean, I kept 85 at Streetcar. Krusty got sick like 4 years ago or so, and
Yep.
then we had a couple times where we only have two cars there for Outlaw
Yeah.
85, and it was like in my heart I wanted to keep that race going until Krusty was well enough to run that class again, because that's
Right.
all he wanted was Outlaw 85. Unfortunately, he passed away. His buddies, along with his wife, Meg, got her permission, and so we're doing this race. And then the coolest part is they got Krusty's car running. So
I was
10,
so
10
excited to see it the other day.
yeah, 10 soldiers got the car, into running form. Joe Obolowski did some wiring, and I think he put it on a dyno and tuned it. And then
Yep.
Martin Connolly is driving it, and so they're all coming to Vegas with that car, and it's going to enter in Outlaw 85. And I mean, it's a pretty badass car.
That's
It is,
cool.
and
So,
you know Mel, one of my good friends, Anthony Smith, Big Worm,
mhm,
is an Outlaw 85 driver, and
mhm.
dude, the Outlaw 85 world, it has been like big and hot, and then not so hot, and now it feels like there's a resurgence maybe, and part of that I think is because um, like the rowdy radial stuff that everybody's doing on, drag and drives on a 235 or a 85 tire. That was sort of inspired because of Krusty and all of that by Matt Frost. And now all the drag and drives have that tiny tire class. And it's ridiculous what some of these guys are doing, and again, on the street and it's awesome. Like, it is
Yeah.
way cool, so I'm excited about that class for sure.
Oh yeah. And then we got well back. Chad, you remember this? Back in the day, we had 54 Outlaw 85 cars at one race.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
and then we get it. You know, you have some that go to the top, and the other guys, they get into a different class or something, and that's kind of the evolution of 85.
Right.
After that 54 car deal, we started having no time classes and all that. So these guys got to go to different classes where maybe they fit in better rather than just throw a tire on and go.
Yes.
But we're expecting 24 to 32 Outlaw 85 cars, which
Oh,
is
that's
pretty cool,
awesome.
which is going to be pretty cool. So
Yeah.
that so
That's
that that
awesome.
that's going to be a big class. And then I didn't mention the sponsors for Outlaw or for Little Gangsters, Australian Outback Plants, which is a plant company that's owned by an Australian. His name is Paul Williams, and their headquarters is in Arizona, which is
Oh,
pretty
okay.
cool. And they supply these Australian type plants that came out of Australia and they're in like Lowe's and Home Depots and stuff like that. So it's like
Oh,
so they're
okay.
going to be the title sponsor along with Williams Motorsports and NorCalTruck.com, and then my good buddy Manny from NorCal Trailers is also. We gave him a different class. He's going to be the Super Index title sponsor, but he's got
Nice.
an Outlaw 85 Chevelle. He's coming out. Excuse me, not Outlaw 85, Little Gangster 85 or 85 tires on a Chevelle. So
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
so
nice.
that's
yeah.
pretty cool. And
That'll be
then
cool.
our Pro Mod class, another class that highs and lows. Well,
Oh,
we
yeah.
change it. We changed it to eighth mile because we had to a couple years ago.
Yep.
And then West Coast loves quarter mile racing. I love
Yep.
quarter mile racing,
Of
but
course.
heads up racing, I mean, what we're doing, it needs to be eighth mile. I mean, I just think it's more exciting. I think
Yeah.
it's the parody's better, eighth mile. But I think now a lot of the guys are catching on to that. I mean, we should have 18 to 20 pro mods on property. So
Yeah, which is awesome.
yeah, which so that's pretty cool. And then we have our all steel, all glass class, which is called real steel. Uh,
Yep.
we have a list of classes which is a mile long, but we have a class for everybody, and
Oh yeah.
we just want and we want to give everybody a safe track and and like I said, give them a fun time. Having bank shift, live their family and friends. I mean the Canadian racers, always supported
Oh,
this race. We do the
yep.
Canadian national anthem, and there's a reason we do that, and because we just have a huge contingent of Canadians
Oh,
that come down every year, and then all the other states in the West. I mean, we have huge areas in our parking map, for their Arizona, Utah, Idaho, Washington State. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing this year how everyone's coming out and they're coming back because they've been watching it on Bang Shift saying, hey man, it looks like the race has gotten better, and it has. Not saying that it's going to be perfect because it never is with these types of cars, but it's
yeah, but
definitely
still.
it has stepped up. So
Well, I agree wholeheartedly. And here's the other part of that too is that, um, you know, one thing, folks, that if you've never been to streetcars and you're considering coming to race with us, um, every single person there gets parked by Mel, or at
or
least
get or
seen
get
by
or gets
him.
seen by me. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's I think Sally was helping last year,
yep,
right, with parking, and
shields,
Sally, of
yep.
course, everybody loves Sally. Um,
Mhm.
but Mel is seeing everybody, and nobody is being pitted sort of by accident. Like Mel said, there are groups because we know from all these years of doing it that these certain groups want to get together. He mentioned Canada. The Mexicans show up in forced streetcars as well. Um,
Yes.
and it is always been awesome to see those guys at the racetrack because the Mexican teams show up with everything from incredibly nice square body Chevy pickups, like
Yep.
beautiful show quality race trucks, right? To race mini trucks and everything else, and NHRA pro stockers. Like they literally show up with everything across the board.
Mhm.
Um, and some of these guys, like I said, are racing old NHRA pro stock cars. That they throw an automatic in and a 632, and here they go in big tire or whatever, and it's awesome. Like really, really cool groups of people. Doing the live stream back in the day, it was fun because like the Mexicans would hang out in one area in the grandstands, and the Canadians would be next to them, and they'd
With their
yell back and
flags,
forth, and yeah, waving their
their
flags, and
flags, yeah,
yeah. And what's
yeah.
really funny is the Mexicans and the Canadians sort of had this thing going, right? Because they were the two, they aren't neighbors, but they're our neighbors. So, they're both together. It was awesome. Like so
Right.
much fun stuff there for sure. Oh, and
Uh,
then Steve Valdez says, yeah, the Arizona Big Hat Boys for sure.
oh, I got my
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
the big hat boys. Them guys are great. I love those guys, and they they I got we kind of do a little thing. Me and Heather go and we personally put everybody's name on the pits. We go and chalk them out, and
Yes.
then when we see a cut, we can't do it every year to everybody, but like last year, we drew like a picture of a big hat and just like a sombrero in there, and then like we always have a lot of fun with Big Worm doing a different worm drawing on
Oh,
his
yeah.
pits, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
George Ragosa has got Armin Magdessian's
Yeah.
parking spot.
57.
So
Yeah. And
57. So we always have Armin's on that spot
yeah.
as well with George. So
Just so cool. And that's one thing actually too that's neat about it is that I mean like Worm has had the same pit spot for
yeah,
I don't know, 15
yep,
years at least,
yeah,
right? So like when you come to streetcars and you become part of the streetcar family, like that's everybody gets treated this way. Like you will get there if you keep coming to this event. Like that's a thing,
Right.
it's a real family deal. And there's just every kind of car you can imagine, which is super cool. Yeah, you guys, Ryan, you guys are gonna have to come. Like, I know Jake's
Yeah.
not able to run there yet this year, but like next year,
Yeah.
we Mel, let's talk about doing a junior street class next year at
Oh,
Streetcars.
oh my
Okay,
goodness.
I'll sponsor it.
Another class.
Yeah, but it's junior
You're
street, so it'll
killing
be
me.
small.
You're
It's
killing me.
junior street and it's an index. It's
Right.
easy. So I'll sponsor it. Bang Shift will sponsor it. We'll talk for 2026. Let's do junior
Hey,
street there.
I'll
Would
get
be
I'll get
awesome.
in on it too. Tailgate Throwdown will throw in on it too.
There you go.
No.
So the two of us will sponsor it.
Well, speaking of, I believe Cheeseburger is going to come to the race this year. He
I
asked me if he was, so he asked me if he, when it was, and I think it's right. I think he does a streetcar takeover the weekend before, I believe.
Yeah, I think it is the weekend before. That's
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger's great. I love
Oh yeah.
Cheeseburger. He's awesome.
Oh yeah. So yeah, he was my all nighter at that race with the Motorplex.
Yeah.
So
Oh
that
yeah.
was
Me and him and the girls and DeMarcus have had plenty of like the late nights, where they're like waking me up because I'm nodded off in the booth waiting for, stuff to go.
right.
Oh God, it's too much
Wow.
fun. Yeah. So what else? Anything else that we're missing? I mean, God, there's so much going on. It's crazy.
Man, yeah, it just, I mean, throughout, every class should be solid.
Yeah.
We do we do a contender. So I do as long as the racer send me in a contender, I doctor up a photo for them, a special photo with Vegas on it and everything. And then we post, their sponsors. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's time consuming, but that's one thing I love to do. And that's how I can show my appreciation for the racer coming out and spending his money and his weekend with us. And so we do them. And they're just, I mean, it's just the whole, you can go on the website or you can go on Facebook, and they're on there, in force this year. So it's like, matter of fact, I got to put a few more up tonight, and I'm kind of backlogged on them. But there's literally a couple hundred so far contenders already posted, and
That's awesome.
that's big.
Well,
That's a lot of work, but like I said, it's I have to show appreciation to them. So so you can go up to the contender link on that, Chad.
Yep.
And then click on Little Gangsters if you want one, the contenders, and then I think we got like 36 of them that have sent in a contender. And you got to see the cars right down to the Volvo wagon from Canada at the end. I mean, we just got some cool cars coming for that. You can see,
I do
Oh
love.
yeah.
that's the diesel right there, Rick
Yeah,
Flint.
this is Rick Fleetus. Rick is that thing's Duramax powered. He does tons of drag and drives. We've been all
Yes.
over the country with him. He's a great dude. Yeah.
Yes, and something, if you are a Little Gangster racer, you guys will get one hit on Thursday. Now they can enter a second class if they wanted to, but they will get one hit on Thursday, and then we go in the first round on Friday for Little Gangsters. We're going to run 2 rounds of that class on Friday, and then we will have a second chance race that will start Saturday morning. So the guys that the lose in the first and second round. So Little Gangster's a 7,000 purse for the first race, and then it's a 3,000 purse thanks to Rick and his NorCal truck business. So it's 3,000 to win the second chance race. I think that was Manny right there from NorCal Trailers to run.
Yep,
Yep, that's right there. That is a beautiful car.
It is 67 Chevelle. It's a really nice car. That thing is fast too, and it is a fun one to watch for sure.
Yep.
The thing I love about Little Gangsters is that me and Jimmy Dale, Tom, we talked about this when he first came up with the idea, and it was funny because we said, I said, I laughed at him and I said, how much of a hard time, how much of a headache are you getting from people and about trying to put together an index class? And he started laughing and he says, "Oh, they're all just busting my chops." And I said, "Yeah, there's 8 million index classes running all over the country all the time, but the heads up guys don't want to hear about it. And he goes, yeah, but when I think I can sell this. And he gives me the spiel, right? And I'm like, I think it's a winning deal. If you can just get them away from paying attention to the index part and thinking of that as bracket racing, then I think you'll be good. And the very first event went great, and it's just snowballed from there. And the reality is that I think index racing is one of the things that will probably keep heads up, no time, and or no prep drag racing alive longer, is because of the indexes. Because no matter what your budget is, you can find a place to race. Like here locally,
Right.
we have Cheap Street. Which, what are the indexes for Cheap Street, Ryan?
I think you changed them to 645, 655, and 675. I think.
Yeah, something like that. And they literally, Mel, they draw a chip with the index on it and go, okay, this is the index for the race, and you make your adjustments.
One tested to clean it up, and then into eliminations.
Yeah, and it's super fun, and it really does give everybody a place to race, and you're leaving the starting line together and all the things, and it's just fun. Cool and honestly, I think it's pretty rare that somebody actually breaks out in them. I mean, people are usually just where they need to be, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I think I saw where Hollis said that I think they've had, I don't remember how many races they've had this year, but I want to say it was somewhere like 12 or 13, and every one of them there's been a different winner. So nobody has won the same one. Nobody's won back to back at all.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is way cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's a rarity.
Oh yeah. Well, you ran or you did a Cheap Street style class for your event for Tailgate Throwdown. Yep. What I can't remember what index did we end up choosing?
I did 2 tenths between the two. So I did 780, 80, and 820.
Oh, that's
for
right.
Level people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they drew
and we had a bunch of people in that class.
Yeah, I think we had 24 trucks in it.
Yeah, that's cool.
24, 26.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Well, sure. what I think about this class, become the streetcar, is if you look down at the contenders on there, yes, you'll see a few familiar names that have gone to streetcars before, but the majority of them have never been here. And so that's opening the eyes of getting guys to Vegas for the first time. So, and that's and then we have a Canadian guy with a Volvo wagon coming down. I mean, a Volvo wagon going 530s, that's pretty fast for a Volvo wagon. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it brings, like I said, it brings new people here, and then that could spark them. It could be, they could come here, race for years to come, and that's I've always changed when it comes to our classes. We all we had before was brackets and heads up, and then when the no time started coming up, it's like, man, we gotta because you see the class cars start dropping down. But then the no time cars are up. I mean, our no time classes are all pretty solid, and but you just got to change. You can't just be stuck on what you're doing, and change with what is going on outside. And the couple different things we did this year with our LDR and X275 is we used the national rule set, the John Sears rules. Last year and the year before we had XDR, which was, I mean, it was the same class, but it didn't follow the exact rules. So now a guy that does run the Radial Outlaw series, they can come here and not have to change their car. And same with X275. We didn't want to make people have to change anything. So we just kind of adapted the national set of rules, and they run it more than us. We run the class once a year. So they know rules better than we do when it comes to stuff like that. So
one of the things that I have always liked about Streetcar Super Nationals is the variety, of classes. One of the things that's always made it interesting, though, too, is that it is very common for guys to double enter at Streetcar Super Nationals. Very common. And it used to be common because a bunch of guys wanted to just get extra test hits by entering another class or whatever.
Right.
Hey, knock themselves out, right?
Right.
But the reality is, in the more recent years, there are a lot of guys that show up and go, man, I fit that class, pretty good, and I fit this class really good. I'm just going to enter both because maybe I'm a player in them. And like you said, Johnny Coleman. I mean,
Right.
I've known Johnny a long time. So if you, it's no surprise that dude's fast and he's really good on the tree and all the things. But it's awesome for a guy in a car that's that fast to go 2 final rounds. I mean, that's
Right.
pretty neat.
Yep.
And as Phil Painter says, we cannot ignore this part. Streetcar Super National is a must attend party. And it is. There is a lot of partying going on. It is Vegas after all.
Well,
So, yeah.
another thing what Phil did is anybody who wins a class at Streetcar gets a free entry into his muscle cars at the strip race. So,
Which is also an awesome Las Vegas
which
race.
which is in March this year. I think March 26th, I believe, weekend. Correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong, Phil Painter. But
Put the date
yeah.
in there, Phil.
Oh yeah.
I will tell you that the first time I went to Phil's race was back in the day when it was still called Mopars at the Strip.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's all makes. But when it was Mopars at the Strip, the very first time I went, I was blown away. The event itself, car show, drag race, all the things, was really awesome. But the whole mood of the thing was pretty unique. And one of the things that they did that was just crazy was at the Cannery casino, that is not far away on Craig Road. They had this big kickoff party on Friday night or whatever it was, and had like a big legit concert, all these outdoor like food
Right.
stations and bars, hand-picked cars parked in this outdoor pavilion area there at the casino. It was awesome. Like it really was a different thing. And yeah, Phil says it's March 27th to the 29th, 2026 at LVMS. So yeah, if you have a muscle car and you want to drag race it, do autocross, hang out at the car show, or all three, check out Muscle Cars at the Strip.
Yeah, they
Online
also had
and
Phil also has pro mods coming up for next year, and he's gonna have a small tire class as well. So we're
nice.
working on him to get a small tire class going. So
That would be awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
and Phil will
that's
be with me
way cool.
this weekend. And this not to interrupt, but we're so anyway. I'm on display at the main gate at LVMS this weekend for the Dodge NHRA Nevada Nationals. So we're gonna have
Yeah,
a whole bunch of cars on display, including a pro mod from John Jajan.
yes,
And
I
then
heard.
we're gonna have this Cartzilla, I think it's called, like a shopping cart that's a hot rod.
Nice.
We're gonna have that on display, and then we have commemorative SCSN posters that I get you to walk up. We'll give you a poster, and then Summit Racing. We like to appreciate Jim Greenleaf and Joya. We got 10% off Summit for everyone that comes up, grabs a bag, or just wants to grab a flyer. So thank you for
Wow.
Summit Racing for that. So this weekend, right at the main gate where the ticket booths are, we'll have a
Yeah,
huge display. We'll probably have 10, 12 cars on display and handing out a bunch of free stuff.
that's awesome.
So,
Heck yeah. So if you're going to the national event in Vegas, which I highly recommend, by the way, it is a very cool NHRA national event. I have been there too many times to count. Um, Definitely go and visit that one. It is a good one. And then, of course, the SEMA show is next week,
mhm.
starting on Tuesday. I'll be at the SEMA show Tuesday through Thursday. And then flying out of Vegas early Friday morning to meet Ryan at the Texas Motorplex, and so that we can start announcing Texas Radio Roundup in the afternoon on Friday. So
Nice.
should be fun.
Yeah.
But there's so much going on. I can tell you that for me, this is not the end of the season yet. I still have, I don't know, 3 or 4 more events for the year, something like that. Well, I guess SEMA, streetcars, Volkswagen race, PRI, and there's one other one. Oh, and Radial Roundup. Yeah, so five events still left this year. So
Well, yeah, no, I got yeah, I know. So I've been on the road all year with Chris Graves and Funny Car Chaos and Nitro
yeah,
Chaos. So that's what I've been doing. I sell their official merch. And so this year they added the Fuel Altered Nationals at Tucson, which is the weekend before Streetcar. And so anyway, I'm gonna get set up here at the strip, after the national event. And then
yeah.
I'm gonna load up the motorhome and trailer. We're gonna go to Tucson, visit Jim Hughes and everybody at Tucson Dragway, and then we're
Which
going
is
to
an
do that. I
awesome
mean,
drag strip, also, by the
yeah,
way. Go visit Jim. Tell him we sent you. It's
yeah.
amazing.
Oh, it is, and but they got I think they got 42 pre-entered fuel altereds. I
Oh,
mean,
that's
it's going to
awesome.
be an insane show. I mean, I know you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
know how cool fuel altereds are, but man, 42 of them on the same property. I mean, it's probably going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, I
Oh
guarantee it.
yeah.
I guarantee it. And like I said, Jim and those guys, they do a great job there. I say it all the time. The best looking tower in drag racing is 3 shipping containers stacked on top of each other in Tucson, Arizona. But it's got the coolest painting across the front of it, so it is just awesome with the Speed
Yeah.
Sport special and the whole deal. It's awesome. Yeah,
Um,
very very cool deal. That'll be a fun one. So
but
then you're there, and then you have to rush back. What is that, like a 8 hour drive?
I think it's going to be 8 hours. I believe. I
Yeah.
have I haven't
Okay.
I haven't mapped it out yet because I don't want to know yet. But
Yeah.
but I think Arizona doesn't change their time, so
Oh,
at
that's
least
true.
I believe that I'll gain an hour coming back. So because
Ooh,
it'll be
look at
after the
you.
time change. Yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
So, but I'll
I
come back
love it.
on. I'll get up early Sunday morning, and then we'll drive back, and
Yeah.
then we'll finish putting I'll have everything pretty much set up, all the easy ups and everything. We'll just put the tops on them when I get back, and then
Yeah.
start marking the pits and just getting ready. Um, so
Because
kind of
people start rolling in what, Tuesday and Wednesday, right?
yeah, they start parking in the staging area.
Yeah.
It's like Saturday night, Sunday.
Oh,
And then we open the gates. I mean, give you a quick rundown of the schedule. We open the
yeah.
gates 10 o'clock on Tuesday. So we park from 10 until 6 on Tuesday. And then, I mean, we'll get normally 100 rigs on Tuesday. And
Yeah.
if you're coming in on Tuesday, I mean, it's the best thing to do because you can get in and get teched on Tuesday. We open tech up.
Yeah.
And then you don't got to worry about nothing. Just wait for your lane calls. And then Wednesday, 11 till 6, we have a test and tune.
Yep.
Three sessions. We run them by tire and length of track and tree. It's kind of a little confusing if you don't kind of get it. But once if you're running a quarter mile and you're running a slick tire like some of the brackets and
Yeah.
then But anyway, so we run 3 sessions. If you miss a session, most likely you will not get that third run because there'll be a
Right.
lot of cars in it. So get here early. Especially if you're going to do the test session on Wednesday, get here early, be ready to go when we call you to the lanes because you don't want to miss a session. If for some reason it goes smooth and we can have a cleanup at the end for anyone that missed one, we can do that. But most of the time, it just we go all the way to the end with finishing that third session. So,
Yeah.
and then Thursday, 2 rounds of qualifying for everybody except for little gangsters, but they'll get one.
Yep.
And then Friday we continue qualifying, but we'll start eliminations in little gangsters.
Yep.
And then Saturday we give the bracket cars one hit in the morning, and this is another thing we changed. We instead of starting eliminations Sunday morning, we start Saturday right at like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock with the heads up cars. So
Yeah.
that gives us if we can get 1.5 rounds done, maybe 2 if we're lucky.
Yep.
And then Sunday we can get done before it gets dark. In a
Yeah.
perfect world, but it just
Well, so
it's just a
far,
lot. It's a lot of cars. So
oh yeah, so far in the last 3 years or whatever, we have not been later than 7:30 or 8 o'clock to
right.
finish on any night. And that has been awesome.
Yeah.
So last year we started Winter Circle and it was still light out,
Yeah, I
like
know.
way light out.
No,
It was
I
awesome.
don't want, I don't want to jinx anything, but hopefully we can do that. Hopefully we can do that again. But man,
Yeah,
like I said, I mean, you guys up in the tower. I mean, we had Matt DeYoung, Division
yeah,
7 guy in the tower last year. You guys were just, you were on it, getting
we were
people in
on
the
it.
lanes ready. And
Yep.
what the good thing is, you didn't get them in the lanes to make them sit
No,
for an
no,
hour, except
no.
for your one guy that you
Yeah.
made sit. That guy,
Well,
yeah,
yeah, but that was on purpose. But no, otherwise, dude,
right.
we are jamming them through.
Yep,
And
yep.
Ron, I don't think there's anybody better at the front of the staging lanes than that guy, and he just kills it.
Well,
And
you have Heather there too now. Heather
yeah, that's
Roberts is
right.
in the lane, so.
Yep. I mean,
Guys,
it's
get you when she tells you to suit up, suit up.
oh yeah,
So
yeah,
that
because
means you're
she'll,
ready to go. So when she
yeah,
tells you to
don't be
suit up,
messing around.
suit up. Yep.
Oh, I will say this:
Okay.
do not, under any circumstances, not be in the car and ready to run when you get around behind the tower and get to the ready line, or
Okay.
to the, what the hell is the big white one, is the
Oh,
shit.
where they do the dial in. What do they call that? The no
Yes.
return line or whatever
Yeah,
they
no
call that
return,
lane.
whatever. Yes. So
Right.
you got it. Come on, dude. Oh, and if you're running nitrous, look at the rules. The rules require you to be wearing gloves and a jacket. So gloves, wear your gloves, bring your safety stuff.
Yeah.
Fig
Yeah.
Speed's got stuff, but dude, come on.
Right. Yeah. I mean, ever since that race 4 years ago, the racers don't want to be that guy. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because they knew how many of those that guy. I don't want to be that guy that wheelie almost hit the wall, blew it up, and then drove it in the middle of the track all the way down to the scales. I don't want to
Yeah.
be that guy because that's the guy they're talking about. So nobody wants to be that guy anymore or girl. So
Right.
basically,
Well, because to be fair, if you do a big giant wheel stand and that thing comes down and just destroys everything and you immediately pull over to the wall, I will praise you to the heavens. I will absolutely, on the mic, you are the greatest thing since sliced bread. I will even give away Mel's t-shirts, which he hates, okay,
yes,
to people that do good. But conversely, if you screw up, I am going to call you out for it. Okay. I'm a
oh,
Gen
he
Xer. We
does.
are tough love people. Like, I don't care. Like, if you screw up, we're going to use you as an example so that nobody else will. Because if I have to rule by embarrassment, then I will do that. I am telling you right now.
Okay,
And it
there was one
works.
last year. Okay,
There was
that
one.
you were. What are you doing? What are you doing? As if this guy has a headset on listening to you.
Yes.
And he's
Yes.
not. He has no clue that you're even
He
talking
has no
about him.
clue. And he
But
got
you
so
never
mad at me.
stopped.
I did not. He got so mad at me. He comes up after the race, rah, 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 rah. And he goes, and his excuse was, well, I didn't know. I'm like, does your car get sideways the entire way down the racetrack normally? No. I'm like, then don't you think that was an indicator that something was wrong?
Right.
And then he has the audacity to tell me, well, it was only water. Yeah, well, the water could still cause you to spin this thing out and wad it up against the wall and then dump all the other fluids out of the bottom of it. Like, regardless, we just want the best for you. We want everybody to be safe.
Right. We just
and
want
have
everyone
fun.
we want everyone to be safe. Correct.
Yes, if your car is doing something it normally doesn't do, then there's really two reasons, right? Like, if it's all out of shape going down the racetrack, there's two reasons. Number one, if you somehow gained 300 horsepower that you didn't have before, which is really, really not likely. Or two, there is a fluid coming out of the bottom of your car. Just saying.
Maybe. Possibly.
I get it. If a guy's making a straight pass and and then he was leaking something, you really don't have any way to know.
Right.
It's not like these cars got mirrors or anything.
No,
But
right.
but if you, like I said, if you go almost hit the wall and then get back in it and keep going, and then not stop, and then go all the way to the scales. That was a rough one. That was a don't talk about to Kurt and Ralph and the
Oh,
boys
I know.
about that one, because man, that's
Ralph, I heard even Ralph was angry. And
yeah, and
Ralph
it's hard to
never
get him
gets
angry.
wound up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah. Well, but hey, I tell you, like, again, everybody has been so good and they really, really are doing a great job. So, like I
yes.
said, I will praise you when you do great. Hallelujahs and all the things. And it will be awesome. But I know this is going to be the best one yet. How many entries did we have last year? 500 and
Yeah,
five something?
500 and something. I don't have the exact number.
Yeah, I don't
So,
remember.
and
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably going to be a little more than that, but I won't say how
yeah.
much more because I don't know yet. Yeah, a lot of things can happen. From
Oh yeah,
weather up north. So, we just hope for 500, which we should get, and
yeah.
then go from there. But the cars. If you look at the contender list, I mean, we got a lot of nice and unique cars coming down, and
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a cool deal.
I'll tell you one of the other parts that for a West Coast guy like me, one of the other cool things about Streetcar Super Nationals is that there are a bunch of well-known West Coast guys that race at streetcars who are well-known OG street racers from back in
Right.
the day too, and several of them driving the cars they street raced back in the day,
Yeah. Oh.
as well, which is really fun.
Man, I have so many notes that I don't read. We're having Brotherhood of the Street Racers that are going to be there.
Oh, sweet.
No way.
Yes, yes. So
That's
I
awesome.
completely forgot. We got like 50 of these guys. So what they're going to do is they're all going to enter into a class for the
Yeah.
week. So they'll run into a class, and then we have a Facebook event page, and you can see some of the guys that are going to be in it, and a lot of old school guys. So
Oh yeah.
they'll all run in the class. But then on Sunday, I haven't put it in the schedule, time wise yet. But we'll run either one round or two. We'll let them guys pair each other up, and then go pair down the track. Well, while we're getting some of the classes down to the nitty gritty,
Oh yeah.
we'll run these guys as like a little shootout. So
Yeah.
so
Oh,
that's pretty
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
Heck
Phil
yeah.
in Vegas asked me about this, and it's like these guys. I had Big Willie as our master of ceremonies one year.
Yeah.
I mean it had to be, man, over 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
But it's like and I grew up in Southern California when he opened up Terminal Island 2.
Yep.
We were down there, almost every time they were open, we were down there, and it was all I remember on the mic was, man, this one's for 50 hot dogs. I mean, it was,
Yeah.
they didn't say, you couldn't race for money technically, I
No.
guess, but it was like
Yeah.
so many hot dogs, and it was like that was kind of an experience I'll never forget. But Terminal Island was pretty cool. I know I didn't go to the first Terminal Island, but I was at the second one. So
Yeah.
Cool.
It's funny you say that too, because one thing that people ask about in Vegas sometimes, because you'll hear me or Nate say that this race is for 1,000, M&Ms or whatever,
right, right,
because Nevada is the gambling state. People, there are all these regulations about that. You are
yeah.
not allowed to be wagering in Las Vegas or anywhere else in
At the
Nevada
drag
without.
strip, yep.
Yes.
Right,
So
because Las Vegas wants a piece of it. So
yes,
yeah.
exactly. So that is why there is never. This is why we're playing
Right.
the game, a little bit.
Right.
So yeah, it's fun.
And then one other
Um,
thing that's it's kind of on our schedule, but I've been working with Jeff on this. We want to do a couple years ago we did a four wide Friday night. Okay.
yeah,
So we're working on probably putting 4 quads of cars together. And this is all time permitting.
yeah,
And Bodie's going to be in charge of it. But we're going to get like 2 Pro Mods and 2 Pro 275 cars, and run like 4 quads of them down, and then have a
yeah.
little fun on Friday night. No time deal. So
Didn't
That's cool.
didn't Bodie win that one year?
no, I think
No.
Giuseppe. I think we did
Oh,
like three
Giuseppe
three
won.
quads. Giuseppe
That's
won one, and then
yeah.
Flacco from Texas, he won one.
That's
Right?
right.
Yes.
I
See
forgot
that.
about
Well,
that.
see now. You remember the one time Flacco came here, he not only won 4 wide Friday night, but then he won 2 classes. He run Pro 275
That's
and
right.
the second class he entered. So yeah, that truck was unbelievable. And he got me with the beer can on the bed because I I didn't know it had a
Oh
beer
yeah.
can on the bed.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, got me on that one. So
We we were laughing at that at Ryan's event because there were some guys with a Monster energy drink can on theirs, and I was laughing because we did on Beer Money when we built that Fox body. We did a Miller High Life can mounted to the rear spoiler on that thing when we built it, and it was insane the number of people that would,
Oh,
as we were idling up to the water box, guys would be trying to grab hold of it, you know, and we'd be swatting their hands away, or they'd see it in the water and he, you know, revving it up, and they're like, oh, and they point, you know, it's like it just goes
yeah.
down. Yeah, it was always good.
So
Always good.
my other little one of the things you remember from year to year. So this was probably 5 years ago, maybe a little longer. Toaster, Ryan
Oh yeah.
Jones. Okay,
Yep.
he whatever class he was in running that weekend, whether it was 8.5 or one of the other ones. Anyway,
Yeah.
so he won, drove into the winner's circle. Okay, and then proceeded to take the hatch off the car. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? He goes, I'm nothing. Right. So he takes the hatch off the car. Right. And then I'm obviously, I'm always want to look around, you never know if a guy's
Right.
cheating or not. Right. So it's like,
Yeah.
what has he got in what is he doing? Is he turning off a bottle? It's the turbo car. Is he turning off a bottle? Right. So anyway, he takes the cooler or the
Oh,
oh
the
man,
intercooler
the
lid. Yeah,
intercooler lid
off the
off, right?
water tank.
Right,
Yes, I remember this.
and in there was several beers. So they
Yes.
they like knew they were going to win, and so they all went and everyone got a nice cold beer afterwards. So that was pretty
I
cool.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
I do remember that now.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're going to have a big giant tank of ice on your race car, you might as well put beer in it.
You
You
might as
know?
Mm,
well put
it's
right.
there.
It's there. You might
Hey,
as well do something with it.
you know, John DeJong is not watching now because he went to watch one of the ball sports with the sticks.
Okay.
But he, but he's bougie, so because he's Canadian, he speaks French and stuff. So I'll bet he would put champagne in his. I mean,
Oh,
I know he
Probably.
runs a blower car normally, but
Right.
whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, we just had I mean, as Chad can tell you, we have a lot of cool moments there.
Oh yeah.
Larry Larson, the first and the fives. I mean, I think
Yep.
Chad was crying on that one.
We were.
You were,
We both
yeah,
were, dude. We
yes, yeah.
spent so much time and money building that truck, and
Hmm.
when we ran our first five, it was right there, and it was epic. And oh my God, what's his name was announcing? Um,
Was it Reinhardt?
oh no.
No,
Um, was it Carl?
Carl
Um,
Robinson. Carl Robinson.
Robinson.
Yes,
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 it was
yes. Carl.
Robinson.
Hmm.
Yes. That was really cool. And yeah, I think it was Carl that was the one that was announcing. Maybe he had somebody else with him, but I'm sure it was Carl.
Right. It could have
And
been. It could have been Tucci back then.
oh yeah, it could
Oh,
have been. That's true.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Tucci. So yeah, it was a good time for sure. There's lots
Hmm.
of cool moments there.
Well, now you're making me
Um,
wish I had more vacation time.
I know. I'm telling you, you need to come next year. It
On the
is,
calendar.
yeah, it's awesome. Um, the, you know, for those of you that are just tuning in or what have you, obviously you got Mel Roth from Streetcar Super Nationals, of course, Ryan Wing, my partner in crime, on here all the time. And we're talking about this year's Streetcar Super Nationals, which is in 3 weeks. And we are live streaming it right here on Bang Shift for free, as usual. So stay tuned for more announcements on that. We have some cool sponsors that have been stepping up, including the Canadians from last year, which is
Yep.
awesome. And
Right.
and then I'm going to be there announcing. There is a amazing staff that is at this racetrack. All the track prep being done by Kurt Johnson and the Total Venue Concepts crew. So if you blew your junk up earlier in the year and you've got it back together, and now we're toward the end of the racing season and you want another place to race, come to Streetcar Super Nationals. Or if you haven't blown your junk up this year, and it's still got some life left in it, then come out to Streetcar Super Nationals and have fun with this. It'll be awesome. There is no doubt that this is going to be another great event. We're super excited about it.
And I
A
put
bunch
the
of new
link.
classes.
Yep, and I put the link on your announcement page for your on the show. And then
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you see like a Doug Foley comment? I don't know if
Yeah.
you
Oh
want to read
yeah.
that or not. What did Doug
Yeah.
Foley say? Doug Foley
It
Jr.
says two of my favorite ladies.
There you go.
Hey, Doug Foley Jr., you owe me a phone call too, Bubba.
Uh
Doug, I have to say, I'm gonna, praise him, even though I rip on him whenever I can too. Doug Foley Jr., son of Doug Foley Sr., the top fuel driver, and um, Doug has won several bracket races this year in his awesome wheel standing S10, and is the race director for the IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series, and is doing a spectacular job there. I was fortunate enough to have an opening in my schedule this year to go announce the $125,000 to win Pro Mod race there at Milan Dragway, and that show was so well run. And Doug and I are friends, to be perfectly clear, but if he didn't do a great job, I wouldn't say he did. But he did. So did everybody that was there. It was an amazing event. And it was super fun. So I'm looking forward to hopefully doing some more stuff with them next year as well. But if you have not been to an IHRA race, you're doing it wrong. Go. They're a great show. If you are a racer and you have not gone, put it on the list. They treat racers really, really well there. The purses are great. They always pay, and they're doing some really, really fun stuff for drag racing. And so I think it's good. I think drag racing as a whole is doing really good right now, and I'm glad to say it. I know Mel, you saw it, and I know Ryan, you saw the PDRA announcement in the last couple of days when the Franklins put out a press release talking about how it's been a tough year and they've gotten beat up a little bit here, there, and everywhere, and but that they ain't quitting and that the PDRA will be back in 2026, which I am glad to see. I know that some people were, were rumor mill was saying it was going away and this and that. I'm glad that they are going to be out there. I truly hope that in 2026 we see more pro mods at more races that aren't in their normal sanctioning body. We're sitting here talking about Streetcar Super Nationals, which is a single event, right? I mean, Mel, you used to run a series, but this is Streetcar Super Nationals is one deal. We have pro mods from all over the country, all different sanctioning bodies, whatever. Like, that's great. In the last year, especially, I've seen a lot of evidence of different sanctioning bodies getting into dick measuring contests and bitching and moaning and, and bad mouthing each other and all this stuff. And that's not good for drag racing. Right. If you're a Midwest Pro Mod racer, you should be racing at PDRA events when they're not conflicting
when you
with
can.
your home series, and vice versa. And you should be going to IHRA or you should be going to NH or whatever. Like, you should be racing as many places as you can. I don't want to hear people saying there's no place to race when you're not racing in multiple sanctioning bodies. That doesn't make any sense. So
have race car will race. Let's go.
Yes. Right.
Hey, but
I mean,
I think that before that weekend in Milan you're talking about, I believe Doug just won a 50 grander, I think, with that truck.
Yes.
Right. And in mid Michigan, I believe. So Doug was fat pockets that weekend. So
dude, he is he has been really killing it. They got that truck done, and I swear to God, wheel stands is he's driven a lot of stuff, dragsters and everything else, but I think that I think an S10 that stands on the bumper is a good thing for Doug. I think it agrees with him very well.
No, I like him better in a door car. So he look.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely, absolutely. Well, anything else you want to hit on streetcars before we continue and
Um,
close out the show here in a little bit?
Yeah, just if you haven't sent into Contender, if you're listening, go ahead and send it in. We're on like about a 4-day delay from when it will go live. We'll put it on the website first, and then we social media each one of them. You can pre-register. Everything's in the link. Spectators, you can go to lvms.com. You can get your tickets right now. Or you can get everything at the gate. It's same as a racer. If you don't have to do anything pre. You can just go to the gate and do everything. Um, you'll see me at the parking, whether I'm in my car or parking you, or I come up and find your name on my parking map, which is a massive parking map. I look like a football. I look like a head coach calling plays out there. I got the same thing. I got the same thing, but but it works. And trust me, when a guy says, "Oh, my name's not on there," and you find his name, that guy loves that.
Oh
Because like
yeah.
you took the time to put his name on a list. So
Oh
so
yeah.
and then, like I said, and we'll get everybody park. Like I said, we just want everyone to have a great time. So we don't want anyone being mean to track employees, or they're just doing their job. If a security guard tells you this or something, just okay. And if you don't like it, come see me or come in the tower, and then we can figure out what you may be doing wrong on why this security. But don't yell at the security guard, because
Yeah.
they're just doing their job. And that's the kind of the thing. Nobody, if everyone's in a good mood, everyone having fun, then we're not going to have no problem. So
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
it's a fun race. It like I said, I'd like to be good. Everyone to come out, just have a good time, and we'll put you on camera as much as we can with Chad and the guys, and maybe we can do a few more. Going through the staging lanes this year, maybe we can do a few of those, get more of the guys, maybe talking to them a little more while they're
Oh yeah.
maybe in between class, or while they're doing some track prep, or you know.
Yeah.
I would say before the race actually starts, but Chad is an 8 o'clock guy when it's at 8:0, when it's 8:01. So
Hey,
right, yeah.
you know what? When you say I need you to start announcing at 8 o'clock, at 7:59 and 30 seconds, I will walk in, because one thing
There
you
he
don't have to
is.
worry about is I am on when I start. When I click the mic on, and no matter how much prep time, we're ready to rock and roll.
So no, but like I said, we like to have a great time. And then if you're a racer, and you have somebody you want to talk about, or you want some to let the world know, come to the
Yeah.
tower and just come in. Chad will talk to everybody. I mean, you always have a line of people in there, but
Oh
just come
yeah.
up, and if you got a birthday announcement or wedding anniversary or anything,
Yes.
want to thank someone that helped you get to this race. you
Yeah.
know I mean,
We
just
can
come up to
bring
the
a
tower.
note and we'll say it, or come talk to us, or
Right.
whatever. Also, because I got yelled at last year for not letting anybody know this ahead of time,
Uh-oh.
and I'll post it on my Facebook later too. I am ordained. I can marry you. So if
Oh.
somebody wants to get married at Streetcar Super Nationals, you just got to let us know, and you just got to do the marriage license thing and do all that junk if you want it to be legal so we can sign it. But I'm down. I will perform a wedding ceremony on the starting line at the strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. No problem. So if you want to get married at Streetcar Super Nationals, hit me up, Chad at bangshift.com, and or hit up Mel, and we'll make it happen, because that would be rad. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
Oh,
come
yeah.
on. How much fun would that be?
Wow, that's that kind of unexpected. I would have never
You haven't
thought.
had that before at Streetcars,
No,
but you can
no.
this year.
I've had proposals, so
Yes.
we had quite a few of those.
Oh
No
yeah.
So
divorces, right? No divorces.
No.
well, no,
Well,
the race has probably caused some divorces. So
yes.
yeah, how much guys spend, and how much money they spend, and how much time away. Yeah, so I would say they could have caused a few
Woo.
divorces, but
Yeah. The
hey,
good
you
news
know,
is in Vegas you can get divorced about as quick as you get
quick.
married there. So,
No,
Nobody's been married or served at Streetcar Nationals.
there
yeah,
you go. There,
exactly.
yeah. So there you go.
Edward says live stream the wedding. Yes, we will totally live stream the wedding.
Yeah.
Yes.
All we gotta
Everybody
do
in
is
the world.
all we gotta do is find a couple lucky people. So
Yeah,
you
that'd be
know,
awesome. I'm
Oh,
totally
and
in.
I just saw Steve Carlton's going to be back this year taking photos. So we love Steve Carlton
Yes.
from Colorado.
Yep.
So,
Oh yeah.
yep,
Yeah, we have a great group of media that are always at streetcars, which is
oh
fun
yeah,
too. So yeah,
yep.
yeah, it'll be good.
Okay.
All
Awesome.
right.
But in closing, I appreciate everything you guys do.
Oh
Your
yeah,
show is always fun, so I appreciate you guys taking the time and doing it week after week. Like I said, if
absolutely.
anyone just go to that Streetcar Supernational Facebook page, all our information's on there. If anyone has a question on a class or anything else, my number's on there. Heather's number down on there. Heather knows everything,
Oh yeah.
so you can just call her. She'll answer your question right there, and or text. Actually, text is probably better, if you can. Because that way you can
Yeah.
we have the everything in writing afterwards, so we know what we said.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
no, I know it's important. Well, she said this. Well, let me go
Yeah.
back to the text. No, she didn't.
Yeah.
So
No, she
right,
said this.
right. And then if you're
That's
going to get licensed at the race, we license on Wednesday. If you can get the 3 slow passes out of the way,
yes.
it would be a lot easier for us to do. But just make sure that you bring all your paperwork, everything up to the tower before your first pass.
Yeah.
And like I said,
Super easy, and then we'll keep track of everything.
we
Yeah.
license on the spot. So
Yes.
yeah. So it's like,
And remember, you can license while you're racing, especially if you go and get those 3 slow runs done in time runs, on test and tune day, then you can finish up the rest of them during
right,
qualifying
right.
and into eliminations or whatever. Like it doesn't matter. Well, not eliminations because they have to be
Not
single runs
eliminations.
for a
Right,
license.
right. Yeah.
So during test and tune and during qualifying, we absolutely will get you licensing runs. Like
Right.
no problem.
But
Um,
it would be nice if you can get your 3 done before you come to the racetrack. It doesn't have to be at Vegas. It can be at any racetrack.
that's
Just
true.
3 single passes with your car number on it or your name or So
Right. And
yep.
then, but yeah, and otherwise, and if you do have a couple of them done and you can get there Wednesday to
Then
do
you can be
test and
done.
tune on
Right.
Wednesday, you can be done.
Right.
So, also, chassis certs. Are we doing chassis certs?
Yes, Cliff will be
Yeah.
there Wednesday from I believe 8 a.m. until he's done. So probably
Yeah.
8 to 2, 8 to 3. So
Yep.
that's on Wednesday. And if anyone has a new car or something that they might be in the trailer or something like that, I think
Yeah.
Eddie Maloney will be there on Saturday or Sunday, so he could do one
Oh,
if he
okay.
got if he needs something done on the weekend. So
Yeah. Okay.
mhm.
So there you go.
we
So
have
yeah,
VP
folks, no
VP
reason
fuel.
not to get it
Right.
done.
Yeah, VP Fuels will be there. Mickey
Yep.
Thompson Tires and Goodyear will be there.
Yeah,
We
Mikey
have
will be there. That's going to be great. So,
right. We have
um,
Fig Speed, and he has everything pretty
a
much. If he
lot of
doesn't
stuff.
have it, he can go get it because it's got a shop there in Vegas.
Yep.
So, yep.
And um and it's uh, you know it's a convenient racetrack. If you haven't been there before, it is super convenient. Obviously there's 8 million hotels in town.
Oh yeah.
If you want,
Oh, there's
I don't
another little race going on the same weekend.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Formula One, is
that's
that a race, something like
right.
that? Oh,
I
that's
forgot
right.
F1 was going again. That's right.
Yeah, nobody talks.
Yes,
I'm even here in Vegas and nobody talks about it. It's kind of weird. I don't know
that
why.
is
I mean,
weird.
Formula One is cool and all, but you
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
I
Wow.
mean, yeah, watching it on TV is cool. Going when they go by the spear, but I did have to. Well, I showed this earlier. I don't know if you were out there, but this is our
Oh yeah.
official license. This is our official license plate. This a decal. You also get a metal plate when you enter.
Yep.
Thank Josh at Red Tide Canopies. He printed these up for us. So thank you, Josh.
Yeah, every car has to have one on the front of it during the
Right,
race, which is cool. And it used to always be just the license plates, but
right.
they got harder and harder to mount to some of these cars. So
Yeah.
that's why the
And I don't blame if I had a beautiful Pro Mod or something with no bumper or no something on, I wouldn't want to put on anyway. So
Yeah.
this year we made them a tad smaller. Last year they for some reason got big, but so we made them a
Oh.
little bit smaller. So you can put them on, and we like them on where they're where the license plate should go, because it does look cool.
Right.
Even though it's called Street Car Super Nationals, we know these half the cars are not street cars, but
Right.
put a license plate on them, and they can look a little streetish. So
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So,
It's awesome.
yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, Mel, for
Sounds
sure.
good.
Thanks again for joining us. And
Okay.
you want to hit anything on Tailgate Throwdown there, Ryan? You want to do
Oh, yeah,
a
it was the
recap?
baddest
I know
truck
you
race.
did on the Tailgate Throwdown podcast too, but you let me know.
Yeah, it was the baddest truck race on the planet. So if you weren't there, you missed it. That's okay, because we're going to do another one.
Yeah. Several more.
Yeah, so if you got a truck and it was broke, or you were being a lazy ass, go ahead and get your ass in gear, because Tailgate Throwdown's coming back, and it's going to come back tenfold. So
it was awesome. I had a great time.
Yeah.
I was wore out.
Yeah.
But I had a great time. I know you were wore out because you were sick. But it was an awesome race. I have to say, still one of my favorites is all the stick shift guys. Like, that was just
thing. Dude, yeah. We doubled in size. We had one race, and then in the next one we doubled in size. So I have full aspiration that we'll get close to doubling in size next year. I almost know it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really good. And it was great. The classes worked well. There was a couple that didn't fill. I knew that one of them wasn't, because they only like to race them when they have the advantage. And yes, all-wheel drive guys. So, but we'd have Jeremy Johns bring the all-wheel drive badass twin turbo Coyote truck out and flex on everybody that didn't show up to run the class. So maybe we'll get somebody out of the woods next year. But I mean, you had everything, right? You had twin turbo Coyote Broncos, that were built to the hilt, all the way down to the grassroots guy that hadn't had his truck out in probably 5 years to go drag racing, and he had a place to race. So, dude, it was cool. And shout out to my son, because he was whooping them old dudes' ass.
Yeah, Jake was killing it. He won the damn practice tree race.
He did.
Killed me.
Dude, yeah, his pockets were getting fatter by the minute, but yeah, I mean, he gave up just a little bit too much. He let the guy catch him a little too much on the big end on that semifinal pass, and he said, "Don't worry, next year he's not going to let that happen." So,
he's getting cocky.
Yeah, he's getting real cocky. But it was a great time. Newport Raceway, it's a small track, and it's got a great vibe to it, and we had a great. We had a huge turnout. We did better than JJ the Boss, and to me, that's a pretty big deal. Like
that's in Arkansas, correct? Newport.
Yeah. It's a runway racetrack. Little I'm not gonna say it's an outlaw track, because it's not like Yellow Belly or something, but
right.
But it's just got this cool feel because it's out there, old school. It's
old World War II runway, so it's small airport it was built in World War II, but yeah, it's a cool place. Scott and Belinda are awesome people, and I couldn't ask for better track owners to work with on the deal, and we had great sponsors, and they had our backs all the way through it, and I appreciate them. And a lot of the sponsors were actually competitors, so which made it even better. Yeah. And so, but yeah, it was good. It was really good. There's a couple of guys I wish they would have had, better luck, because last year they got their butt kicked right off the bat, and kicked their butt right again. So third time's a charm. 2, 3, 3. Yeah, third time's a charm. Then we had a couple of wrecks. A couple of my really good friends, had some issues that tore their stuff up, but thankfully it's not too terribly bad, and everything's fixable and replaceable. So, but man, what a good time. I mean, start to finish, start to finish. And I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to come race with us, man. I mean,
it was awesome. I had a great time meeting people that I didn't know before that now I'm in love with. That was just amazing. And the whole vibe there, because you obviously have been there, Mel, or you've heard of it and seen
Yeah.
pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
It's there's nothing around. There's like 2 gas stations and a Mexican restaurant, and the whole town closes up, at 5 or
Right.
whatever. So you feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere at this racetrack, and really it kind of was, because everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, I would say 85% of people stayed at the racetrack.
Right.
Yeah.
There were people camping in tents on their trailer. Me and Ryan slept in the damn enclosed car trailer. Like there were, that's how people were out there. They were camping and having fun. There were motorhomes and RV trailers and stuff too, but there
Right.
were a huge portion of people that were just sleeping in their trailer or sleeping in a tent or whatever, and just having a great time. And we were out, up until 3 o'clock in the morning every morning, and it just,
Dude,
it was perfect.
And I don't know if you saw on the page, but there was a backstory brewing this whole time at the deal, and I had no clue about it. But Anthony McElroy has one of the most beautiful square body Chevrolets.
Yeah.
That blue one. Great looking truck. Got a hot small block in it, 2 kits. It's a fast truck, and it works really well. And he posted a video talking about it, and it's a really good video. I shared it out because he has this funny thing about how he gets on there, tells stories about things, how the origins of the blue truck, all that kind of stuff, and they get a little long winded, and everybody busts his balls about it. And so he's like, I'm gonna get on here. I'm gonna make these guys really think I'm fixing to go into a long, deep, long story. But he kept it short and sweet. But 14 years ago, he posted a video up on YouTube of the blue truck, and a guy comments on it and starts following him and would comment from here and there, and he said, I guess I was kind of his hero or whatever. Well, that guy was Rick Dryden all the way from Maine. So
no
they
way
thought they would ever get to race each other. So not only did Rick come down from Maine to race him, but they raced each other in the finals.
Yes.
Wow.
How perfect.
And the Maine guys, their trucks were beautiful.
Yes.
Like, I mean, also, like, holy crap. Yeah, these guys, Mel, they came from Maine to Arkansas, and I'm literally like walking around on the starting line with the microphone going, did nobody tell you how far Arkansas is from Maine? What is wrong with you people? And they were like, well, this and that. And it was great. Yeah. And man, it was a good time. I mean, and to be fair, we had some really ugly trucks and some really beautiful trucks and everything in between. And I'm gonna pick on the other Chad, because Squeaky, while an absolute riot, is not a looker. That is one ugly square body, but it is an absolute riot to ride in it. I can tell you that from personal experience.
I think it's surprisingly violent, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is so wrong. So Mel, you'll love this. So all the stick shift guys, there were what, 5 of them?
Yeah, I think 5. Yeah.
And so, there were way less of them than everybody else. So we ran their class with everybody else and crowned a winner, and then told them, now you just come up when it's your turn in the rotation, and whatever you guys want to do, just do it. Whoever you want to pair up, just go have fun. Right. Well, 2 of the guys that were running
Austin,
are brothers.
Fleming and Corey. Yeah.
So the Fleming brothers, they go up there, and Austin and Corey, they pull up. Now I'm standing there and I'm announcing it, and I'm on the right lane up against the wall, and Corey pulls into the water box, and he goes to do his burnout, and Austin's in the left lane, and they both, again, stick shift full-size trucks, one of them a crew cab. And Corey's burnout is not his normal burnout. Like, the truck moved like 5 feet, maybe 3 to 5 feet in the water before it finally stopped and was blazing the tires. Normally, he hammers the brake really fast and it stops really quick. And I'm like, well, that was weird. But I'm announcing away, and they pull up to where they're ready to light the top bulb. And all of a sudden, I realize something's going on, and I step around the truck to see the reason Corey's burnout wasn't right is because it wasn't Corey doing it. Austin was doing the burnout in Corey's truck, and Corey was doing the burnout in Austin's truck. They pulled up to where they were ready to pre-stage, jumped out of the trucks and got into their own trucks, and then belted up, staged them, and went, and it was absolute entertainment. Like, everybody had a good time. You know, we can't do, like, Foster would never let us do that, right?
Yeah.
He would lose his mind. But we could do it there, and it was super fun, you know. So
yeah, dude, that's the beauty, man. It's the people, you know, like the racing is racing, and you know, like it doesn't matter. You can put a bunch of cars or trucks on a racetrack and let them go down, and it's going to be entertaining to the point of watching something go down. But it's the people that make the event, you know, and man, just great group of people. And I literally cannot wait to get back there because it's so much fun. And it's such a tricky track. I mean, the thing that people don't understand, and I try to tell them, and Rick said, he goes, man, and even Anthony, you know, I mean, Anthony, that's his home track. And he's like, 2 weeks ago, I had low ET. Like, I had it down. And he goes, I ran that tune-up, track didn't like it. I changed the tune-up, got it to come around. And then I ran the same tune-up that I got it to come around on, and in the finals it went up in smoke again. Like, he's like, that track changes so much that it's just when you think you got it nipped in the bud, you know, change.
Yeah, because they don't do any prep. I mean,
Brake
they
prep.
did a hand spray to 60 foot. Like, that's it. So it's a weird racetrack because you can hook in the first 60.
Yeah.
You better be pulling timing out of that bitch by the time you get to the 60 foot. Because
from 80 foot to 150 to 200 foot, it's different. And then if you get it going at 250, you're good. Go ahead and lay on it out the back door.
Right. But that middle, no.
Yeah, flip flops. Yeah. So it was really good though. I just can't say enough for everybody involved. I appreciate you coming out and helping me. And you know, usually awesome. I announced it last year. I enjoyed it, but I lost my voice on Friday night. And he was like, Bubba, if you don't stop talking, no one's going to be able to hear you tomorrow. And sure enough, the next morning I was done. I was like, done. You know?
Yeah.
And so, big thanks to you because you came to live stream. I wanted you to kind of piggyback me and help, but I didn't want you to have to run and, announce the whole deal, but you really stepped up and helped me out there. And big thanks to my wife and Destiny and Chrissy and the Moonshiner crew. I'm a part of the Moonshiner crew, and it's a tough break for the Moonshiner truck. Got a little banged up, but there's some really big changes coming to that truck that I'm super excited about. That's actually going to make that truck a hell of a contender next year.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? It's one of them things where it's it needed to happen. And it did happen. Thankfully, nobody got hurt, but now it's going to end up moving and motivating itself into a different direction that will be much better for it in the future. So if anybody thought they had the upper hand on the Moonshiner this year, you better think twice because next year's going to be different.
Well, I'll tell you, it was fun to see some of the rivalries coming to life. That part of it was really cool. Like I said, I was thrilled to death to get to meet, some of the people that were there this time, that guys I didn't know at all. And, and had a really good time getting to know all of them. It was just a cool event, dude. It was really fun.
Yeah, dude, I'm getting text messages from guys in that right now.
Right.
Oh, was that the beep? I thought they were like, we were like done.
Yeah. That was on my end. Yeah. So anyway, I need to make it to your event. And hey, if you're in Arkansas next year, you need to come out and hang out with us.
Well, I'll be on the road again with Funny Car Chaos. So we go to a lot of smaller tracks. So but Newport is cool. I just like the tower right on the side of the lane, right there, a little bitty white tower right in the side of the lanes. It's kind of cool. So
it is. Yeah. And
I believe
are good
And I believe, they bring a lot of different types of food there. It's not just your normal stuff. They really went all out to try to have different things than normal racetrack food.
Such good food. Belinda and her crew make such good food. Like Man,
Oh yeah.
okay, look, chicken sandwich. Okay, it's a chicken sandwich. Okay, it's
Right.
just chicken on a bun. I
Right.
grabbed a chicken sandwich from her because I was just trying to eat some lean meat. And that chicken sandwich is the best damn chicken sandwich I ever had in my life. I was like,
Oh yeah.
how many more you got? I need some more,
Yeah.
you know? Like
Well, and like you said, Mel, yeah, they have hot dogs and hamburgers, but they also have fried bologna sandwiches and Frito pies and
Right.
and like you said, the grilled chicken sandwiches and all that.
dude, the fried
And
bologna
they
sandwich,
really
the
are
smoked
cooking
bologna.
right there. Like
Yeah.
it was all the hot dogs are actually grilled on the griddle, not just boiled,
Right.
like
Yeah, dude.
it is different,
It has that. I've been at big tracks. I've been at little tracks, and I used to have it. My home track was Texas. Oh gosh, what was the name of
Texas
it?
Raceway.
Texas Raceway, yeah.
Yes.
In Kennedale. That was my.
Kennedale,
You had a great feel. It always felt like home when you were there. And then North Star was my secondary home, and then it became my primary home whenever Kennedale was gone. So I hadn't felt that way in a while, man. And when we went there last year, I was like, God, this feels good. It's like putting on a pair of like really good sweatpants, the ones that have been washed a few times,
And they put in really nice restrooms.
Yes.
I don't know if they were there when you were there, Mel, but they put
Sure.
in these
Yeah.
pods, like they're like a mini shipping container.
Uh-huh.
And they have one that has 2 men's rooms, one that has 2 women's rooms, and then one that's a handicap that does have a shower and stuff in it. It was not hooked up yet when we were there. But hopefully they hook that sucker up because that would be really nice.
Yeah, dude wipes were great, but let me
Yeah.
tell you, I felt like a piece of bacon by the time I got my rig back to the house. I was like, I'm going straight in the house to get a shower.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, after a night with Chad in the back of your car trailer, then
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
I had to keep all my comments.
I was waiting. It was right there. It was teed up. Like, come on.
I didn't put it on my notepad, or I would have probably said it earlier. So
note to self for next time.
Well, you'll laugh at this, Mel. I bought a brand new air mattress.
Nice.
And I blew it up in the trailer. And I put it on. He already had his air mattress set up, and he okay, good to go. Had a little heater going because it was cold out. So I put mine down, and I'm like, oh, look at the fender of the on the inside of the enclosed trailer. That's like a nightstand. This is perfect. And so I slide the mattress right up against the fender, and I lay down, and I'm out. I'm good to go. And I wake up now, and it's one of these, I'm going to say fancy, but the super thick,
taller one,
like
right.
really firm, good air mattress that a fat guy can sleep on, right? Well, I get up in the morning and I'm like, this thing's a little squishy, not like deflated all the way, but it's a little squishy compared to last night. I'm like, oh, that's weird. So then, I wake up like to go take a leak. That's when I realize this. So I'm like, what the hell? And then I realize I can hear this thing. And it turns out that on the fender was this little tiny shard of sharp metal. And I slid the thing up and it poked a hole right in my brand new air mattress right there.
Man.
I put Gorilla Tape on it the next day and it was fine. But then I mentioned it, and then Jake, Ryan's son, while putting his truck in the trailer, scrapes his leg across that thing and gets a gash on his leg, remember?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's the one that poked the hole in my thing. I'm like, so get a grinder on that.
Fix
boy.
it.
Yeah.
Man, you had the Gorilla Tape out. You should have just taped it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You put a little X over it. X marks the spot.
I want everybody else to suffer too, Mel.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good deal. Tailgate Throwdown. It is here to stay. And if you got a truck, you want to come race with us, that's all I got to say. You'll have a great time.
Oh, yeah.
You won't regret it. You won't regret making the drive.
And the bigger the entries become, the bigger the payouts are going to be and all that stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you definitely want to do that. And we're not going to say exactly on the new classes. But there is a new class you are going to love. And because everybody loves it. Everybody, you've got to just get your junk ready for next year.
Yeah.
What time of year is it going to be in? What time?
Well, we may do 2, but I don't know. We've tried to do 2, and the spring just it's kicked our butts 2 years in a row. So we've had to push
Yeah,
it
it gets
October.
rained out every time.
Yeah, October's been fantastic 2 years in a row. So we'll probably, as of right now, we're going to leave it October. I would eventually like to be able to get it 2 or 3 times a year at a couple of different tracks, and kind of Newport be the OG spot where we meet up to finish it off. Because I think that's where you get your good rivalries. You get some guys in there from different places, and it'll draw them to that finale. So we're working on some stuff. I gotta get some more backers behind us, because it's tough. We get sponsorships, but a lot of it comes off the backs of us, and it's just really, it's a grueling task. So
Oh, no. I feel your pain.
Yeah.
A
So
lot of years, and especially when you do a series and more races, and then then all of a sudden you get some competing series and all that, and it just your money level just keeps going down and down, and you want to increase the payouts, and you want to do more stuff, but you can't. It's just impossible. If you want to survive, and you got to be able to make some kind of money to do it. So you can, I mean, it just, like the media, the money we spend on media advertising and all that. I mean, if something happens to your race, you lose all that. I mean, they don't say, oh man, we're sorry your race rained out, but here's your money back. No, it don't work. It don't work that way. So
no, that's why we've moved slow with it. It was just a word of mouth thing. We created a Facebook page for it. The Facebook page grew like astronomically in a short amount of time, which really helped. And then we put stuff out on our YouTube channel, Moonshiner Garage, and Square Body Stuff, and Chad, we talk about it on here. And I figured it was just one of those ideas. It's just like, well, I'll tell you what, we'll go to a small track in a place that's far for us, and let's just see if we can draw people there. And if we can draw people there, let's try it again. And if we can double what we did the last time, we know we're on to something. And we did.
Yep.
And that was with the date reset. And if we would have had it in the spring, we would have tripled what we had the first year. We had 147 trucks pre-registered for the spring. Right. But
that's tough. I mean, that's tough.
Oh, that one hurt, man. That one hurt because that was because we ended up, I think, with 80, I don't even remember, it was 80 something. And we had 147. So we had 28 trucks drop out in the last 3 weeks leading up to the race for either wreck, whatever. So I was nervous going into it, but when we got there, we hit the gates, and we already had 15 guys there on Thursday. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be all right.
That's good.
Yeah. So it did really well. It paid for itself, and that was my goal. Was like let's just get it to pay for itself. And we get it to pay for itself, then we can do it again. And we accomplished the goal. But now we got to figure out how to make it, better for everybody all the way around. So, growing pains.
Yep.
Well, and Mel, that when you have a race that's at the end of the year or in the, in the last quarter of the year, the guys that blow up and can't repair their junk or crash their cars or whatever, that's a real deal, right? And you said 20 something, trucks a week or 3 weeks before the event. That is always the challenge of being later in the year, is that people will break it and either not feel like fixing it or can't afford to or whatever, or not enough time.
Or it takes too long. I mean, I was watching Ducks race, and Matt Bell crashed his car really bad. He was coming to streetcar. So that sucked. And then the very next day, Mark Meering did the same thing with his X275 car, another terrible wreck. And it's just like, at one point you're thinking, my God, I lost a car, but it's like, thank goodness he's okay, because those crashes were just, Matt shattered ribs and all that. I mean, it just, it was not a good deal, even though I lost 2 cars because of it, but at least I know that they'll eventually put their cars back together and come back and race another day.
100%. Yeah. We had some guys that, Anthony McElroy, he runs a points race. And a series, and him and another guy, they both negated. I think he was leading or second in points, and they both negated going to their final race to come to ours. Oh. He goes, this race is that much important. It's that important to us to be here that we let our finals go. And I'm like, that's something I didn't even think about. I've never raced a series. I've always been a grudge racer or a street racer. So, series, I don't think about that. Late in the year, all the finals are happening. And we had 9 trucks that were like, hey, we got finals and we can't miss it. And,
right.
Well, and I understand that. I mean, you're invested in that. I totally get it. But so it's just one of those things where, I was told a little while back by some people that you cannot think about what else is going on. You have to just point and shoot. And the people that can be there will be there, and the people that won't. And for the 10 trucks you thought were coming that dropped out, there was 3 more per truck that were going to plan to come, but just hadn't told you yet. And that's really what happened. We had, I would say, probably 30% of the trucks that showed up weren't pre-registered. So it works. So
I think keep doing it, man. If you got passion for it, keep doing it.
Oh yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Anything we're doing is tough and grueling, but at the end of the day, when you get done, you're exhausted and you go, man, I can't believe it's over. That sucks. That's when you're doing it right. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll keep at it. Hopefully, maybe one of these days I'll be talking about how we've been 21 years strong like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. you're going to be a very old guy by then, I think.
Well, I'm already getting there. Yeah.
Oh.
No, the difference is Mel started when he was too young and dumb to know it was a bad idea.
I know I wasn't that young though. That's just the problem. I was like 40 years old when I started, or 30 something. But remember, but I started the PSCA, 5 years before that. So I've been doing it for 26 years, and it's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
It's like, have I really been doing it this long? But it's like, I don't know anything. I know t-shirts and racing. That's all I know. So,
well, and you never stop growing too. And that's the thing, like you were talking about how you keep learning stuff and you try to make it better. And that's what we try to do. And it started out with me and Chad and my buddy Dave, and then Dave was just like, I just want to come race. I don't really want to do this part of it. And so like, all right, cool. So it was just me and Chad, and then Thomas, he came to race. He's like, dude, I want to be a part of it. And I tell you, like, we're building a really great team, like between Thomas, Chrissy, my wife, Destiny, and Chad, and I mean, Chad makes amazing trophies. Like we make some he makes some badass trophies.
They are awesome.
And like these guys, I mean, Chauncey McGill came all the way from Georgia. And this guy goes and races at Ducks races. He races radial stuff, and he's got a fast truck, and he drove all the way there just because man, I want the trophy. Like, I just want to be here. This is the best damn truck race I've ever been to in my life, and I'm going to be here every time. I'm like, that means more to me than anything, because he's in Georgia, bro. Like, there's great racing in Georgia, and and he would negate going to a race there to come to ours. So that's badass. That's a win for me in my book.
Oh yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway,
well, boys, I think it is time.
Is it time?
Live for 2 hours, so
yeah,
we're gonna call it for the night. I know it's getting late for people on the East Coast as well. So, Mel, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me,
everybody. You can get more information about Streetcar Super Nationals at streetcarsupernationals.com. Sorry
about that. My phone rang. I'm sorry. So.
Oh, you're good. We will be there. We're going to be live streaming, and I'll be announcing. It's going to be a great race. Bunch of cool new stuff going on. Lil Gangsters is coming there. It looks like Jimmy Dale and Poland are actually trying to come to the race, which would be great. 50 Shades of Brown would be good there. So, I think it'd be fun to see them. And, so all of you guys out there, come join us for a fun weekend of racing. Bring your car. Don't bring your car. Come party with us, whatever. It's a good time. Yeah, for sure.
It is. So I just noticed that Mike LeBate, our pro mod runner up last year in the Firebird, he told me he ain't losing this year. So I think he got that bird all fired up. So
I love it. That car is so awesome.
Oh, it is
that thing.
Yeah,
I love that car. Yeah. Good dude too.
Yep. I'll be at home watching it on the sofa like a lame ass. You guys don't have too much fun. I know you're going to be busy as heck. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know you'll be busy as heck. So
yeah.
But have fun.
Yeah, we will.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Absolutely. Thanks, nice to meet you, Mel. We will see you next time.
You too.
See ya. All right, brother. Appreciate you. Stay out of trouble.
Oh yeah. Come on. That's all I do is stay out of trouble.
I know. Yeah. That is not what your wife says.
It's not. Yeah. I don't. I'm in trouble a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, ask for forgiveness, not for permission. You know what they say. Yeah.
Perfect. Yes.
Not the right rule in my house.
No. No. Definitely not.
G.
All right. Everybody that was live tonight watching, we appreciate you guys. John Lundberg, thanks for the kind words. Doug Foley Jr., Barnalicious, all of you guys, thank you so much. Ryan, we'll see you next time.
All right, big homie.
See ya.
Later.